I want to thank you all for coming today. This is a continuing series of things we're going to talk about that are specifically issue-oriented. Talking about the issues. When you go on the mayor's website and you look at issues, you see nothing. When you look at what's happened in the last 4 years under his administration, you don't see a whole lot. The mayor has stated several times, if you wonder what kind of mayor I will be, look at the kind of mayor I have been. Well, I think that what we've seen enough. Before we get started, I want to extend my heartfelt condolences to the family of Sergeant Christopher Brewster. He's the Houston police officer who lost his life in the line of duty. The loss of an officer's life should not be an opportunity to grandstand. These are people that put their lives on the line every single day, as do all of our public safety professionals. When we talk about public safety, it's not a slogan. It's life or death. Every day, our women and men in blue take a risk when they respond to a call in our city. Our streets are unsafe. There's violent assaults, muggings, and property crimes, all of which are up under this mayor's watch. The unfortunate truth is that Turner's priorities are elsewhere, and our public safety is suffering. Now today we're going to discuss my commitments on ending the pay-to-play corruption and cronyism at City Hall, and by doing so dramatically improve the city's performance on our core concerns of flood prevention, street repair, and public safety. Now you all know I'm not a career politician. This is my first major race, and I'm running as an independent who can work with all sides, with every side, who can work with the federal government, the state government, and no matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican, I can work with you. I've been attacked relentlessly by Sylvester Turner and his cronies as being unrealistic with regard to my vision for the city of Houston. Every time I lay out a policy proposal and talk about how we can do things better, the mayor criticizes it. And here's my response. Why can't we do better? Why not? We need a change at City Hall because Mayor Turner is not getting the job done. In the private sector, his performance would have resulted in his termination a long time ago. On December 14th, the voters will say no to 4 more years of Sylvester Turner and his pay-for-play insiders who are not getting the job done but are lining their pockets. And if you review Sylvester Turner's most recent financial reports from the time November 5th until the latest report, you see the same old thing. This guy in 30 days has raised $1.7 million. Now think about that for a minute. In 30 days, $1.7 million. And the so-called candidate of the people who wants to raise or lift every voice is lifting the voice of those that are giving $5,000 and $10,000 each, and there's a lot of them. In fact, that's the great majority of his campaign donors. So I would ask Turner, whose voices are you actually lifting, sir? What is more troubling are the names that appear next to the numbers. Names such as ICF International, a Turner Harvey contractor. ICF International is a Virginia-based firm hired in connection with the city's $1 billion in federal hurricane housing recovery. Of the subcontractors on ICF's team, 6 had contributed to Turner's campaign, and the only one that did not is an individual by the name of Barry Barnes, the mayor's former law partner. And Barry Barnes, of course, received $6.7 million in a sweetheart deal to discover victims. I guess he's having trouble figuring out who needs discovering, because what we do know is only 15 people have been helped since Hurricane Harvey. He must not be looking too hard. 2 weeks ago, Channel 13 reported that not a single homeowner from the county had received aid from the county's $800 million program for Harvey storm victims. And because of their performance, ICF, this company, let's remember who we're talking about, ICF, a Virginia-based company that did work after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, was literally run out of New Orleans, is being sued by New Orleans, this company was called the creme de la creme of corruption by a Louisiana state senator, Do I need to say it? I'll say it. If you get run out of Louisiana for corruption, you're pretty corrupt. And because of ICF's performance with Harris County on December 6, 2019, they were terminated. ICF has been terminated by Harris County. But what do we hear from Turner? What do we hear from the Turner administration? Nothing but crickets. ICF remains a contractor for the city of Houston. This is emblematic of the problem with contracts to insiders. It's not just lining the pockets of your friends, law partners, and donors, but it's their failure to perform that impacts our communities. That's why corruption matters. We all suffer with broken streets, chronic flooding, and all the other problems that ail us. Turner has accepted, just in the last 30 days, another $53,964 from disaster contractors, just in the last 30 days. Now, we could be here all day, and I could talk line by line of the monies that he's collected and why these entities and individuals gave him those monies. I'll give you one other example. For those of you that know Kingwood and the small community of Elm Grove, a community that did not flood during Harvey, but when Perry Homes started a development immediately adjacent to Elm Grove, the next time there was a large rain, because this company did not put in the required detention and they were not made to put in the required detention, the majority of that community flooded, and has now flooded twice since Perry Homes began to build adjacent next door. You want to know who's giving money to Sylvester Turner? The CEO of Perry Homes. I wonder why. I think we all know. But we're not going to spend all day example by example, because I think we all understand that City Hall is for sale. And it's not just for sale, it's been bought and paid for. There are the folks who want, those are the folks, that is, these donors, who want 4 more years on the gravy train. And if we don't stop it now, we will be in even deeper trouble as a city. We desperately need campaign finance and lobby reform in Houston. And I've proposed previously, and it's in detail on my website, but I'll say it again today. This is the proposal. It's very specific. We will ban political donations from city contractors, period. During the contract term, a ban on any and all city contracts for 1 year after the donation is made. Now, you don't have to worry about me because I'm not taking any money. But any entity or individual who is given a campaign donation will be banned for 1 year from doing business with the city of Houston. Number 2, we will have full disclosure as part of the city contractual process of all city political donations over the last 5 years by affiliated PACs, allied family members, lobbyists, executives, and also for their subcontractors. We need to know who is giving the money, what their affiliation is with those giving the money, and the contracts that are being awarded, and we're going to have complete transparency. We're going to end this corruption at City Hall. Number 3, there will be lobbyist disclosure requirements. Any and all lobbyists, in the loosest definition of the word, will be required to register with the City Secretary's Office and the State of Texas Ethics Commission. The city will publish on its website a list of registered lobbyists and who their clients are. And moreover, we're going to make sure that any expenditures, that we know what those are, where they were made, etc. Number 4, we're going to have full online transparency in regard to all expenditures from the city's general fund, the enterprise funds, and the TERS operating in the city. It will be put in an easily understood format, and it will be accessible on the internet to the media and general public. We're going to make it known. We're going to be transparent. You're going to know how your money is being spent in the city of Houston. Number 5, we will require full disclosure on all mayor's office employees. Under Mayor Turner, there are scores of city employees who are assigned to the mayor's office but are paid through other departments, hiding the true number of employees in his office. We know, as an example, that there are people that supposedly work for the mayor that are being paid through the airport system. That's just one example. There's many. We're going to end that. We're going to know exactly who is working and what department they're working in and which department is actually paying them. Now, on my website, TonyBusbeeForMayor.com, you can see more details and more meat on the bone, if you will, of these five principles. From the beginning of this campaign, it has been my detailed vision from the very beginning to put an end to pay-to-play corruption at City Hall. I believe it's what's holding us back. To get things done, it takes energy, persistence, and willpower. Ending corruption at City Hall will be one of my priorities and has been one of my priorities throughout this campaign. We will be accountable to all citizens. In closing, I want to make a brief observation. You and I are often told that we must choose between right and left. We're often told that. People ask us, what side are you on? And people want to push us, either right or left. And I would respectfully submit that in our city there is no right or left. There's only up or down. Up, are we going to be the city that we know we should be? A city that's transparent, a city that works for all residents, a city where every community has a voice, a city that's receptive and serves the residents and not vice versa. Or are we going to be the city that we're all a little bit afraid we may become? A city that does not serve people, a city like Detroit and others, the stagnant and failed cities across the United States. I hope you'll join with me because I believe the city of Houston has a great future and great potential. And I'm ready to take a few questions.
Tony, are you calling on the mayor to immediately fire ICF?
Let me tell you this. When I'm the mayor, I will immediately fire ICF. I think anybody who's reasonable, who's paying attention, would immediately fire ICF. So yes.
The city has, based upon the numbers I've seen, I think they're accurate, has paid ICF a little over $4 million that I can track.
It's hard to track though, Greg. It's hard to track.
As mayor, would you try to claw that money back for non-performance?
I absolutely would make it, let me make it clear, but put on my lawyer hat for a minute. First off, I'll find where all the bodies are buried. I'll find out why the contract was awarded in the first place. And I'll make sure that if no work was done for those monies, we will get those monies back. And then they can go to a public forum in an open court and describe to a jury how they got the contract and what they actually did for it. And let's have real transparency. And you should not have any problem to figure out how much they had been paid so far. We won't have that problem when I'm the mayor. Anybody else? Thank you very much. Stay warm. And don't forget, you can still vote today. Still got a few hours to vote today. And then December 14th on a Saturday, we all need to get out and vote and change this city. Thank you very much.